Good evening, everybody. Good to make another video. So I got a lot of good feedback from my last video, and I was really excited to hear, ask some buddies of mine, get some ideas, what some of the younger people would like to hear about, and trying to put one out by every Monday. I do apologize. I'm running about a day or so late, and just real busy trying to get moved into my new house and just really crazy, but we'll try to get back on path, try to get things moving forward. Tonight I want to talk about our past. I'm going to give you my past and what brought me to the Army, and we can kind of revolve around that and discuss why it's important to remember our past and where we came from. So I was born in 1986. Yes, for the PFC, I'm an old guy. I'm called the old man all the time. I freaking love it. It doesn't bother me. I've been called grandpa, old man, dad, a lot of different nicknames. It doesn't bother me one bit. Born in 86, back in Austin, Texas. My parents, I've been a pastor's kid all my life. My parents are still married. No, I had a great background. I grew up, my dad worked hard. He had his own fencing business, and he taught me a lot of good work ethics. He taught me good character. He taught me how to be honest all the time. He taught me just how to work hard, how to get in there, do the work, even though it's hard to do, or we may not want to do it, but the work has to get done. So there's a lot of things that I bring back that my father taught me that I've brought with me throughout my life. Also, there's another quick little thing is there's a lot of lessons I've learned as an adult that I've taken that my father has given me and incorporated it with what I've also learned. So last video I said there was a question that always comes up, and why did I join the Army at such a late age? Being honest, I had been working for a company I don't want to put out there that I just didn't feel was morally for me the right path. I felt like I was always running that gray area of either being right and wrong, trying to cheat the customer, not cheat the customer. And for me personally, it just was not the best fit. I felt like I could no longer promote the company in the best situation that the company needed me to do it. I had worked there for just over 6 years, and I enjoyed while I was there what I was able to put forward to the company and what the company gave to me. I don't want to dig too much more into that, but there was a lot of reasons why I joined the Army. A lot of it was I always wanted to join the Army or the military service at a younger age. Just things didn't work out. I got married shortly after I got married at 24. And right away was more focused on providing for my family. The responsibility of a new husband, and then shortly thereafter, a father-to-be quickly kicked in. And so I lost track of things I wanted to do personally and got focused in on my family. And I'm not saying that was a bad thing, and I'm not saying it was a good thing. It is what it was. Finally, after several years of working for this company, I was talking to a buddy of mine that had just got out of the Army, been out of the Army for a little bit, was getting his college, and we got talking about the Army, and he quickly was like, hey, the Army will take care of you. Went home, talked to my wife, and we started the progression. Now, it took me about 9 months from the moment I talked to a recruiter to the moment that I went and joined into the Army. So it took quite a bit of work, a lot of different paths, a lot of past history, not bad history, but just a lot of process. I was actually homeschooled, so trying to get all that paperwork through and approved because I didn't have an actual high school that I went to. I had a lot of extra steps. Coming into the Army with 4 kids, I actually had to get a dependency waiver, which I believe had to go all the way to the division to get signed off. That one, I waited 3 months to get that waiver signed off. So there was a lot of different angles of my situation coming into the Army, but there was a lot of different reasons too. I believe they gave a better situation for my family to better take care of them and healthcare reasons, and then just better opportunities also for me by joining into the aviation. on the outside, if I ever did decide to get out of the Army, I could get a really good job on the outside and just feel really good about what I was doing. So there kind of gives you a few ideas. Of course, there's a lot of, minuscule little different ideas. Of course, everybody wants to say, well, I joined because I was patriotic. Being honest, for me, there was a slight percentage of that in with all the many different ideas or different reasons of why I joined the Army. Anyways, so those are some of the reasons why I joined the Army. Getting back to my past, guys, whether or not you had a good past, and I understand some people, they grew up with a bad past. I know some families, some people, personally, really good friends of mine, parents were very divided. Parents were not very supportive. Parents were even abused them growing up. I know a lot of those people, I know several of those people in the Army, and they're good friends of mine. I cannot say that I had parents like that. I had parents that took care of me. My parents were rough. My mom, she ran the house like a drill sergeant. Even though we were homeschooled, she ran it just like a school. So, I had a very structured life. And then I immediately went out and worked for my father as a young man, and where he instilled those work ethics and character building in me and to have with me forever. So there was a lot of culmination. I had a really good childhood, and I'm not complaining about my childhood at all. I am blessed. I'm lucky. A lot of people. But what I mean, though, is get back to the point, is remember our past. I can take from my past and I can build upon it. The good things that I had from in my past, I can take it and I can just keep building upon it. I understand some people didn't have the same past as I did, but guys, listen to me. Even though you guys may have had a bad past, something abusive in your family, you were abused yourself, you got in trouble with the law. I've heard some of those. The judge says, join the Army or go to jail. I don't know your past, but what I'm saying, guys, is if that bad past feels like it's obstructing you, don't let it obstruct you. Learn from it. Learn and say, hey, I was going in this direction, and now joining the Army, being in the Army and the structure of the Army, now we can go in this direction. We can do a full 180 and make things so much better. My goodness, having a bad past and now you're having a guaranteed paycheck. Health is taken care of. College is getting paid for. You're out on your own, making your own decisions. There's a lot of people. I have friends of mine. I helped them get their driver's license once we got into the Army. Went to the car dealership and helped him get his own car. That is the good things for people that grew up in a family that probably wouldn't have had those opportunities, just how it was. But being in the Army, we can look back on our past. We can either build from a good past and keep getting better each and every day, or we can take from our bad, take from what hurt us, take from what maybe troubled us, take from what could have possibly put us down into the depths for forever and not been able to overcome it. We can overcome that, guys. Don't take for granted our past. Whether it was good or bad, it was what was meant for us. Each and individual person there's a reason why the past we had. We can blame other people all we want, but the reality is are we going to get up and move on, or are we going to let it overcome us? Are we going to let it overwhelm us and affect our work ethic? Are we going to let our bad past overwhelm us, and to where then we're getting kicked out of the Army? Or all of a sudden we're saying, oh, the Army screwed me over. Or you're letting your past dictate your future. Your past is your past. Your future is your future. So, guys, getting close to my 10-minute mark. I'm trying to keep these short videos. Getting to that point of what I'm trying to say. Enjoy your past. Look back on your past. Understand it. People always say all the time, if we don't understand our history and study our history, we are bound to repeat it. Guys, it's the same thing for our past. If we don't build upon or learn from our past, we are bound to repeat it. A lot of fathers have always tried to say, hey, I want my son to be better than me. And it's the same idea. If I look on my past and I had a good past, but if I didn't have a good past, let's say suggestions, use an example of I had an abusive father. Not saying it's true. I'm just using an example. Let's say I had an abusive father, and if I didn't focus and make sure I did the right things for my son, I could easily just follow right in those footsteps and become an abusive father just the same way if I don't learn from it. That's what I'm trying to get to you guys tonight. Learn from our past. Look back on our past. Understand, why are we here? Why are we in the Army? And what can we do to better our lives in the Army with what the Army has given us? Hey guys, if you got any questions, I'm going to start posting this on YouTube. I'm going to build up my YouTube account, and then I'll post it on Facebook. So real quick, like, share, subscribe, all that good fun stuff. I'm still learning some of this. Guys, I would love to hear from you guys. Please give me some comments. I'll even take the nasty ones. Good comments, nasty comments, neutral, doesn't matter to me. Doesn't bother me. Very resilient. I'd love to hear from you guys. If you guys have any ideas of what you would guys like to hear me talk about, just an old man with some old common sense and a lot of life lessons, I'd love to share with you guys. Just how I feel and how I look at things. Always try to look on the positive side of life. And anyways, love all you guys. Y'all be good. Peace out.